hosted by Braun Weiss Management Consulting Group. Braun Weiss is located in the greater Boston area and founded in 2014. At Braun Weiss, we specialize in optimizing finance and accounting operations, CFO and controller advisory, digital transformation, and management consulting. Today's seminar of digital marketing strategies will be presented by Ariel, our digital marketing lead. Before we get started, I would just like to ask a couple of general questions to Ariel to get a better understanding of what is digital marketing.
All right, so that's a good open question. Well, as simple as this is going to sound, digital marketing is just marketing using digital tools. And marketing is nothing more than communicating value to your customer. So digital marketing is therefore communicating value to your customers using digital tools. And that's it.
Awesome. And then my follow-up question for that is going to be, what are the key differences and benefits of digital marketing compared to the traditional marketing strategies?
Yeah, so now that we've got the definition of digital marketing covered, to answer your question, I think the first thing to do is to understand the difference between traditional marketing and digital marketing. So traditional marketing relies on tools and media like newspapers, radio, TV, magazines, and direct mails, and etc. Well, digital marketing, on the other hand, is made up of tools like search engine marketing, social media, and content marketing, like blogging articles or video creation and email marketing, and etc. So I guess your next question is going to be, does traditional marketing work? The short answer is absolutely yes. So when done well and strategically designed and executed, traditional marketing can still provide good results. But when compared to digital marketing, more often traditional marketing doesn't even have a chance. It's because digital marketing is always more cost efficient, effective, and it allows you to monitor, analyze, and test in a much better and much faster rate. So I think the key to maximizing your marketing budget and the results is to first leverage all available marketing options and then start looking at alternative traditional opportunities.
Thank you for that. Let's continue on with website design.
All right, sure. So first of all, let's talk about website design. I would say a website is the most important part of digital marketing. Your website may be the first look and the only impression a potential customer receives from your company. So remember, your website is the key to a successful digital marketing strategy because all other digital marketing elements direct guests to your website, which should effectively convert guests. And as you can see from here are 5 steps to develop a professional website. I would now go into details of each of them. But I would highlight 2 important steps here are the planning stage and the designing stage. So before you get started on working on a website, make sure you have some ideas of how you want your brand to be portrayed and understand the pros and cons of your current website, if you have one, and identify your purpose, your main goal, and target audience. So great design always starts with a purpose in mind. It always starts with a clear purpose. So maybe when you started, try to ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish within this page? So if a page doesn't have a clear purpose, consider get rid of it. And you will see the benefit of doing so in the future. And in terms of designing, your site needs to look good, right? If your site looks like it was built in the 90s, maybe it's a time for an update. And a site must be visually appealing, polished, and professional. And remember, it's reflecting your company, your products, and your services. And plus, an attractive site is far more likely to generate a positive impression and keep visitors on your site once they arrive. Therefore, make sure the website is looking good in terms of good use of color, readability, graphics, simplicity, and etc. So
Awesome.
next, let's talk about logos. So logos are an essential part of branding. Therefore, it's a visual representation of your brand or business that sticks with people. A logo can really anchor the availability of your products and services and can make your business more memorable within the target market. And a well-designed logo is a vital part of any business overall marketing strategy.
Awesome. So we have some questions from the team regarding logos. Shishan asked, how do I know if my logo is effective or if it's outdated?
Well, yeah, thanks for that question. So let's think about what makes a good logo first. So a good logo is distinctive, appropriate, practical, and timeless. It should convey an intended message. So to identify your logo is good or not, try to see if your logo is simple and memorable. So a simple logo design allows for easy recognition and allows the logo to be versatile and memorable. And good logos feature something unique without being overdrawn. For example, I'm sure you guys familiar with Nike's logo, right? That check mark. And that logo actually represents motion speed, and the shape depicts an arc of movement. Um, isn't it simple, but at the same time easy to identify? So yeah, that's my point here. And another point is timeless. An effective logo should be timeless. Um, so will the logo still be effective in, say, 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years? So probably the best example of a timeless logo is the Coca-Cola's logo. So if you compare it to Pepsi logo, you can see just how effective creating a timeless logo can be, considering the fact that the Coca-Cola logo has barely changed since 1885. So that's a timeless design.
Another question we have collected is from Camila. She asked, out of all the marketing logo tools that you have listed, which one is the best when it comes to features?
All right, so it really depends on your budget and your previous experience with designing a logo. So if you don't have any experience before designing a logo, I would recommend Wix Logo Maker and Canva because it's like the best one for a design beginner because they have like tons of beautiful templates that you can use for free. But if you have like enough budget and you have some previous experience with designing, I would recommend the Adobe Illustrator because it's the most professional one and it presents a good results.
Excellent. And then I also just have another question on these logos. I know you're quite familiar with website design and digital marketing. So personally, I wanted to know, out of these four that you've listed, which one is your favorite?
Oh, I would say my favorite is Wix Logo Maker because all of the Brown-Wise digital projects, all the website designs, we're on the Wix platform. And it's good that Wix has these features like designing logo, Wix Logo Maker. So it's just like an easy combo for us. You can like design the logo on the Wix Maker and then use that directly to the website. So yeah, that's really convenient for me to do that.
Oh, nice to know. I'll have to check into that.
Yeah.
So next, let's talk about search engine optimization.
Yeah, sure. So SEO, aka search engine optimization, is a process of making a website easy to find, easy to crawl, and easy to categorize. It's about helping your customers find your business from among like 1,000 other companies. And SEO is an integral part of any digital marketing strategy. It is basically concerned with a holistic move towards driving customers to your business via online platforms. And to do that, you must ensure the website ranks higher in the search engine result page, right? And in order to improve your SEO, keywords are one of the main elements of SEO.
Thank you for that. Another question from Shishin. She asked, how do you identify good keywords to use in SEO?
That's a good question. So let me first of all explain more about SEO keywords first. So your SEO keywords are the keywords and phrases in your website content that make it possible for people to find your site via search engines like Google or Bing. In other words, you need to know how people are looking for products, services, or information that you offer. And in order to make it easy for them to find you, otherwise they will land on one of many other pages in Google results. And implementing keyword SEO will help your site rank above your competitors. You need to ensure that SEO keywords used in your content matches with your brand, product, or service to the keywords that your customer use. And this is where keyword research happens. Keywords and SEO are directly connected when it comes to running a winning search and marketing campaign. And because keywords are foundational for all your other SEO efforts, it's well worth the time and investment to ensure your SEO keywords are highly relevant to your audience and effectively organized for action. And going back to the question, there are many open sources SEO keyword search tool that you can use for free. So after you get a list of keywords, go to one of the keyword search tools and see the results of your keywords, like how many times it's searched on Google, what are related keywords. And so after that, you can further refine your research, your search terms from there.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk a little bit about the best ways to promote social media.
Yeah, sure. So in today's world, we live in really a information-heavy world. We are tethered to our cell phone. Whether you like that or not, we always have our cell phones in our purse or in our pocket. And that's where we check in our emails, where we are getting on our social media. And the plus side to that is you can benefit from that. You can search your audience there. The great thing about social media is that you are meeting your audience where they already are. So they're already on Twitter, they're already on Instagram, and they're already on Facebook. And that's great news for you. So you can meet them there. There's no guessing work. So one great tip here is to place your donation or blog link, just some off link from your website somewhere prominently within your profile, whether that be in your Twitter bio or in your Instagram bio, or maybe on Twitter, you can have a really effective and interesting graphic and a link to your website page that's pinned to the top of your profile. So you want to make sure whatever they're finding out about you, or maybe they're just like, say if they've donated to you in the past, or they're checking back in that, there's always a quick and easy way where they can have that link to go to donate or view your blog's page. And you want to make sure this is as simple as possible. And you will find that throughout this whole discussion, a common theme is just staying one step ahead of your audience and those current potential customers. So I'm thinking another great thing about social media is that your audience can share the content that you're posting and reach their audiences So make sure that you're sharing on your what you're sharing on your social channels is interesting and engaging and shareable. So maybe something that your followers are going to want to share with their friends and their families. So yeah, make sure that your graphics and your photos are vibrant, with that they're elicit emotion, and that they just really tie into what the heart of your business is. So just stay relevant with your posts and make sure that you're posting. Think what I share this on my channel would be something that I would want my family and friends to know about.
Awesome. So I also have another question regarding this. I'm not too familiar with social media campaigns. What would you recommend is the best way to start kind of a social media event or campaign for my business?
Yeah, sure. All right. So the first thing I would say is to focus on just one social media channel when you're just starting out. Because it takes time to build the following, right? But numbers are not everything. What you want is a loyal following. When you dip your social media network out there, your attention gets divided and the results get diluted. Therefore, start from choosing one social media platform and go where your target audience is and cater to that platform. So, if you have to choose just one social network, it's not about choosing one with the most active users. It's all about understanding the audience that's there, and if you can serve the reason for them being there, you really need to think about why someone is logging into the specific social media network. Let me ask you a question. So when you go to YouTube, what do you really do on there?
Typically, when I search through YouTube, it's either for some type of entertainment purpose or for maybe an educational video to learn something more.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so people usually go to like YouTube. It's just to learn how to do something or to be entertained. But Facebook is different. So think about it. Have you ever logged onto Facebook hoping you would see an unboxing tutorial? Or better yet, have you ever opened your Facebook and hoping you would see like a limited time offer that is 50% off only for the next 30 minutes? Probably not, right?
No,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, so people don't check Facebook with credit card in hand, and people like and share things that are helpful, interesting, shocking, or funny. So if you're going to try to bring people into your world, present your message as a story, a video, or something else that will likely stand out from the endless feed. So create content that cater to their intent for being there.
Awesome. Thank you for that response.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
Next, we can move on to maybe some email marketing.
All right. So when we're thinking about email marketing, what can emails be good for? They're great because they're great at keeping your subscribers up to date on what's going on in your organization. Um, whether that be that be a milestone that you're reaching or events you have coming up. And one thing I also want to talk about with email marketing is the importance of your messaging here. So a lot of times here, people can get caught up in coming up with a super clever subject line, and that's totally important. The subject line is what's going to tell someone whether they want to open your email or not. But I would say don't spend too much brain power on trying to come up with something that's just so crazy, and where the story lies in the copy and the imagery that there. So really take the time to invest your brain power there and come up with some quality content that's really going to be compelling to your reader and make them inclined to say donate or do some action items. And with that being said, you also need to have like call to action box or like button there, probably in the body of your email. And so with that button, probably readers can click on it and learn more about your business, and it's just direct them to your website. So yeah, I think that call to action is in that body copy there. Those are key to your email marketing being successful.
Awesome. So I've got a couple questions from the team here.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, what is the best way to sustain customers in the long run using email marketing strategies?
Okay. Well, thanks for the question first. I think the first thing to think about it is to stay in front of your subscribers and keep them in the loop. And one thing to keep in mind here is the frequency that you're sending out your emails. So frequency is important. You may have an email strategy in place already, or it may kind of just be random, like sending them out when you have time or when you have the resources. But really, locking in an email strategy is going to be key to your success in bringing sales or donations or traffic to your website via digital marketing. So determine the frequency and find the balance between how often you want to be sending these emails. On one hand, you want to stay in front of them and keep yourself relevant, but also you don't want to just become a white noise to people who are receiving your emails. So just kind of evaluate, and it's going to be different for every business, every organizations, whether you are sending a newsletter every week or every other week or once a month. It's going to look different. So determine what's best for you and keep consistent with that.
Awesome. Thank you. The next one I have is a personal question for you. You
Mm-hmm.
have 4 different applications listed here. Which one of these is kind of one that you're more familiar with, and one you would recommend?
Yeah, personally, I would recommend MailChimp because it's just a more wider use email marketing tools for all different sizes of companies. And it includes some analytics features there. So you can see whether your subscribers receive that email or if they open that email or if they delete that email. So yeah, I would say MailChimp is the best email marketing tool. Personally, from my side, yeah.
Awesome. I think we're good to move on to the conclusion slide, and then we can wrap up with a couple extra questions here.
Yeah, sure. So just to wrap up, I want to talk about the future trend of digital marketing. So as consumer media consumption trends continue to shift drastically away from traditional and towards more and more digital content, there will be a time in the near future where we no longer refer to it as digital marketing and simply call it what it is, marketing. And yeah, so that's really all that I have for you today. And I hope this was helpful. And I hope that you have some takeaways from today's talk.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I have a couple of questions here from the team.
Yeah, sure.
First one is, how can I drive digital traffic to my site? This is a pretty important question a lot of people have been asking.
Yeah, for sure. So traffic to your website helps to improve your rank, which in turn generates more traffic. But you want to make sure that the increase in traffic is associated with an increase in engagement as well. So if your traffic is increasing, but at the same time your conversion rates are decreasing, you're not bringing in the right traffic, right? And there are a number of ways to optimize your website for conversion. But the first step is to be attracting the right visitors to your site in the first place. And your goal when it comes to website traffic is to be driving more qualified visitors to your site. That is those who are most likely to convert into customers. And actually, there isn't one set it and forget it tool that generates free and high quality website traffic to your website. Rather, there exists a mix of channels that work together to drive visitors. So some require efforts, some require time, and some require money. I would say some of the strategies and channels that drive traffic to your websites include just like what we covered today: SEO, email marketing, social media marketing, and plus online ads and blogging. So they're all very effective strategies, but you need to make sure that they're all working together.
Excellent. The next question I have from our team here is, what is the most important part of the branding optimization process?
Okay. So in general, it's important to understand what the customer is trying to brand. And it's also important to keep social media and email marketing up to date. But remember, website design always comes first, and all the other strategies serve for adding more traffic to your website. So I would say website design may be the most important part.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, so we'll keep that in mind for updating our website. And then I want to kind of segue into a more relative question with the times. We've all been suffering underneath this COVID-19 pandemic that was unforeseen. So my question for you now is, why is digital marketing so important under these type of pandemics?
Yeah, that's a right on time question. Well, since nobody can predict what a post-coronavirus reality would look like, one thing is certain for digital marketing is that digital channels are more important than ever. So online channels now play an increasingly crucial role as people continue to self-isolate and spend more time online. At least I spent a lot of time online recently, like considering work from home and etc. And at the same time, in the US, so for instance, once the government introduced countrywide quarantines in the mid-March, online traffic just spiked 30%. That's a big number. And companies may find themselves in the position of having potentially lost millions through canceled events, or even worse, the whole business shutdown. Digital is likely to be more clear winner here. And companies will need to move into social marketing, content marketing, SEO, and influencer-led campaigns. So here's a good example here. The Uber. So I think everyone must be familiar with this app. So Uber is known for providing ride service, and well, much of the world is social distancing under quarantine or in a total lockdown due to COVID-19. Uber has been hit hard by the pandemic, and so Uber says the rides down by as much as 60 or 70 60 to 70% in cities. However, Uber smartly did a lot of digital marketing work promoting and advertising Uber Eats. So recently, you can see Uber Eats ads everywhere on Google, on your social media, and the billions of people confined to their homes, they still need food, they still need medicines and household supplies. After that smart move, Uber Eats has seen a 30% around surge in customers signing up for services, and it has received an influx of new drivers as well. So yeah, just by giving you this example here, I just want to give you an idea of how crucial the digital marketing role is, even under the COVID-19 situation.
Thank you for that. I really like the real life example that you used, especially with, actually seeing the increase in Uber Eats. At this time, I'd like to open up the Q&A section for anyone who is interested in asking any questions at all. I know I did have some questions from the team come in as this was happening, but if you have anything outstanding that you'd like to say, please go ahead and ask.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Also, firstly, I want to just thanks for Brownwise holding this amazing seminar, and thanks for Ariel for your inspiring talk. Many of you have shared are very practical and useful. So my name is Tianyi, and I'm working in the healthcare industry right now. I'm currently building a website for my own nonprofit startup. Do you think that add a pop-up window to the site might be a good way for me to collect donation or even get more subscriptions for business?
All right. Thanks for your question, Tianyi. Nice to meet you. And in terms of your question, the pop-ups, actually, I was thinking about it once before because people are not so sure about how to feel about pop-ups. You think of pop-ups as being like spammy or and annoying, and if you're not executing right, absolutely they're annoying, especially if you're really trying to get information quickly and you just have boxes popping up all over the screen. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is after someone is thoroughly engaged in your site that you're creating, and they've scrolled a good ways down, or maybe they've clicked a certain amount of times and they have something pops up on their screen, and maybe it's a form or something like that. This can be a lead capture for you, and you say like, hey, fill this out and we will give you this in return. Maybe it's a video resource to learn more about your organization. We want to, so you want to make sure that whenever you're asking your website's visitor for their information, that you're giving them something in return. That's kind of just the best practice there. Just put yourself in their shoes and think, okay, if I'm gonna give my name and my email, I want to make sure that I'm getting something in return, and also gives them a reason to fill the form out. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But also remember that this probably won't elicit subscribers or donations right away. But it's great to get someone who is already interested in your website, and they've already been pursuing it a bit, and to really capture their information and be able to connect with them further through email newsletters, or maybe just an email that you're sending out to spread awareness of about an event that is coming up in their area. Think about pop-ups as a lead generation, lead capture tool, maybe in 2020 in this year, and utilize that and see how that works. And yeah, can definitely be a great way to bringing in donations in the long run.
Thank you for answering.
Does that help?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thanks.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Ariel? No?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you from here. Ariel, can you hear Alam?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and to TZ's question, I just want to add another question based on her question. Is where do you think that in nonprofit organizations' website a donation button should be placed? Do you think it should just be in the front page? Like, is there a specific place that you have seen, or is there a way to make it more prominent? Should it go to a place? It should be a specific color. It should be a pop-up, or how do you think it works the most?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think the best way to, because the reason why you wanna see the donation button everywhere on the homepage is because you wanna try to like when people first go to your website, you wanna like give the first thing they see is like try to make donation here or like volunteer here. And I think the best place to put the donation button is in the navigation bar or above the navigation bar or in the footer. And probably you can combine them both. You can both put it in the navigation bar as well as in the footer. So so whatever like so if you go to different pages, the donation button is still there up above the navigation bar, and still if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you can still see the donation information in the footer.
One more thing, and about creating digital transformation projects and websites, can you talk about the importance of branding and color coding of things?
Yeah, so color scheme is like one of the most important thing when you start looking at designing a website. So in terms of my experience when I did the Brown-Wise digital projects, we first of all start with selecting color schemes, because but for the color schemes, it usually takes from the logo color. So say for example, Brown-Wise logo, we have orange color and black color there. So for the Brown-Wise website color scheme, we then go for orange as a primary color and black as a supplementary color. And yeah, so it's basically give your visitors a sense of how your business is look like. And yeah, it's just very first thing when you look at designing a website.
Thank you for that, Ariel.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, of course.
Can you also talk about user experience, how important it is for the website to be, easy to navigate in terms of branding and, in terms of attracting clients? And also, what do you recommend for people that are designing their first website to make that happen?
Yeah, so this question, the answer for it comes back to the two important things that I mentioned in website design slide. So I mentioned the most important part is the preparing phase and the design phase. So when you try to prepare to build a website, the first thing comes into your mind should be how do you want your website structured, and kind of like the flow of your website, how the clicks through works and which button takes you to which page. And I think so before you actually get your hands on doing a website, designing a website, you need to have this general ideas, a clear idea of how you want your website to present and how the process will look like. And after you have that in mind, it will definitely help you in the designing phase, and it will definitely improve the user experience once it go live.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Do we have any other questions that anyone would like to ask?
Yeah, hi, Ariel. It's Maddie. I guess my question is, I have more experience with small businesses and like small business plans. And so when working with smaller companies, which do you think is the most like important avenue to go towards first? Would you say it's social media, or would you say it's email, or would you say it's more marketing on the website? Like, what's the first priority?
You mean for those small business?
For small businesses, yeah, because I know that when I was looking at them, it was a lot more like social media, but I'm not sure if that was the correct avenue or what you'd recommend.
Yeah, so I would say first, the most important thing is web design, like I mentioned many times. So like if you put more efforts on building your social media channels, but it serves your website, right? The reason why you post all those like posters or like post on the social media, the goal is to lead the visitors from the social media to your website. So I would say the first of all, if small business, if you don't have a website, then go and design one. And then after that, you can use all the other strategies that I mentioned earlier, I talked earlier, and use all of those strategies to enhance and add more traffic to your website.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions or anything like that? All right, well, thank you everyone for joining our first live webinar and Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it, and we are so I think that would wrap it up for now. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Ariel.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
And Chayton.
Yeah.